Hello, welcome to my channel. This is going to be my halfway through recap of my predictions video for what I see coming up for the next half of the year and going through my predictions to see where we're at. So I've sort of gone through my predictions. I had a lot on here. So starting off, I've got more protests happening in January, which that did actually happen in Australia. And I think over the world it did happen in January. There was big more protests that came about with that. I also got USA, the riots. I don't know if I was seeing to do with the shootings that are happening now, but I feel like there's more, or it could have also been that I was seeing the trials that were coming up at the moment to do with Trump. But I feel like there's going to be more coming up with people taking to the streets. And I feel like it's there because I feel like people have had enough over there and it's about what they believe in. They're sick of everything being taken away. It's what I feel like is sort of happening over there at the moment. Then I was getting the blame game with Bill Gates. I don't feel like that's happened just yet that I could find, but I feel like that's still going to be coming up at some point. Sometimes my predictions too, they can happen. Sometimes, I get these things and I try and do them for the year, but they may even happen next year. I feel like some of these are leading into next year from what I can see in the astrology. I've got Princess Eugenie pregnant. She's not pregnant yet. There's been no news. Now, they got in May with the war, I've got China. I still feel like I've got more. I was meditating. There's more on that, which I'll get to in a moment. There was a lot of war activity happening in around where I am with China, with certain military, like they were being very close and sort of spying on Australia where I am. Also, there was reports that China, there was a plane. One of our planes was surveillancing, and they put up a plane to go in front. There was war activity. Nothing sort of came of it, but I feel like I'll go through that in a moment. I got power outages. That's actually happening now where I am in Australia. We're getting power outages. I actually had one every week where I live. They're not reporting on it as they're sort of threatening, but not reporting that they are, but there is stuff going on. I was getting self-sufficient. I feel like this is going to come more in. I think this has already started, being people growing their own gardens, being more self-sufficient. So I do feel like that's coming up. The economics downturn, I've got June, July for that. And as we've just seen with the markets, everything is heading down. And I feel like there's going to be a bit of a crisis happening. So I feel like that they're trying to I do feel like the reset is happening, the global reset. And I feel like that's been happening for a while, but I feel like they're starting to put plans in place, the powers that be, to make this stuff starting to happen. The crypto market, I did go up a little bit in May, but I feel like, look, to do with crypto, I feel like that's going to get better come next year when Saturn goes into Pisces, because we've still got that Saturn energy. Saturn is a problems, and Aquarius is technology is part of Aquarian, so we've got problems with technology, which that has been happening. So I feel like that the crypto market, if we can try and hang on, I do feel like it'll get better next year. Or either pull out and buy again next year. I know I'm not a financial person, but with the astrology and what I feel, next year. I got cyber attack, and that was through China. That actually did happen. They were trying to do a cyber attack on Australia. Then I got here, something big happened for Biden in March. I'm not sure, but I've got more on that in a moment that I've got coming up to the end of the year. I remember beginning of the year, I kept on getting a volcano in Russia. It hasn't happened yet. So we'll just have to see about that one. But I did get a volcano. There was a volcano somewhere else, a big one that did erupt. I think might have been near. Might have been. I know it was in Europe. We had floods in Australia, and shortages, and unrest. So that has happened. We did get a lot of flooding in Australia before. We've had more rainy days and sunny days where I am. And the shortages are what's happening now. Now I've got the thing in the arm, the mandates in May that had stopped. So where I am, so technically I had my prediction for that was correct where I am. They did, but it's now up to the companies. But I'll try and talk a little bit about that in a moment. We got here my other prediction about this causing more issues with people. Look, I feel like that is happening, but it's sort of people aren't realizing it and digging in, and people are trying to hide it. I kind of feel like it's happening right now. But I'll talk more about that in a moment. So I got February as a lockdown, and there was a lockdown in China. Also, there was a Tonga, they had that lockdown too in February. So that came true. Now, new president, I'll talk about that in a moment. I got here about the election, in the Australian election. I got here that Pauline Hanson will do better. She actually did well. So her party, One Nation's now the fourth biggest party in Australia, and she kept her Senate seat. So that was something I did get. I got fire attack in Australia. I'll go about more of that in a moment. Getting a news underground. I feel like that's gotten bigger. So people are turning more to the like Rebel News, to Turning Point Australia, those under those channels that, where we can't turn on to 6 o'clock the news. We have to look at YouTube, Telegram. We are all getting our news in different groups that we're in. So I feel like that's coming up about. And I got New York, May, people running and screaming. I did hear something on the news where someone, it was a false alarm, but they thought someone was going to, or made out they were going to, and people running away, but nothing eventuated from that. So I think that's what I saw with that one. It's got destruction, big shadow. I'll talk on that in a moment. Okay, we got here, much love the Queen, and she will be protected. So we've seen the Queen having her jubilee this year, and as you see, she hasn't made all of her celebrations that they had, and that she made a few of them, but not all of them. And I do feel like they did put a protection around her, and they have been starting to, where she's not going out to as many events. And I did get here that this hasn't happened yet, but Prince Andrew and Fergie will start coming out to rebuild his reputation. So I do feel like that's going to start coming up and will happen. We just have to wait and see. What I've got here, preparing William for the crown. I do feel like it's going to be more William that takes his crown in the end than Charles. And he's doing more things. So I do feel like he's being prepared for that, because I kind of feel like it's more William than Charles that we're looking at to who's going to be the next. Even though they're saying it's going to be Charles, I just feel like I'm more with William than Charles. Or maybe Charles won't be in for that long when the time does happen. What else have we got here? Cracks going with Meghan and Harry. So we haven't really seen bits of that, but not really just yet. So we'll just see how we're going towards the end of the year. So it's just my halfway. Now I've seen the drones. Now that we have seen that. So with China, they were doing a drill where they're actually having drones that were coming in and exploding. So I think that's what I saw about all these little drones everywhere. We also had Kim Kardashian engaged. She has found love, not engaged just yet, so that hasn't come yet. Taylor Swift, she was more legal battles coming up for her. I found that there was some coming up that were leading on to this year, but I couldn't see a resolution or what was happening, so I feel like she's having to give money back. So I'm not sure with that one. If anyone knows about that one, and put a comment down. Housing pricing, Australian bubble burst, and houses being liquidated. That is coming about now, so I feel like we're coming into more of this, because I do feel like we're coming into a global recession. I do feel like we're coming into we've got here, my house is going to lose money. So I feel like that we're coming into that now in Australia. So what I've got coming up for the rest of the year as well, some more predictions. So and for a while I've been getting feelings overwhelming feeling, and it's like I was getting this feeling the same as when that explosion happened in Lebanon a couple of years ago. I do feel like that World War III energy is coming around, And I do feel like it's China. I'm not looking at Russia. I feel like it's more China than Russia when I'm looking at. And I feel like even July, like soon, it could be like I keep on seeing big explosions, and it's caused by a missile. So I feel like there's something going to happen here with China, and I feel like it's getting closer. Yeah, I feel like it's getting more plane crashes that are coming up this year, because I kind of feel like travel's going to slow down. I know they're pushing it up and getting people out there with tourism, but I feel like by plane, I feel like car, yes, so domestic good, but plane travel I'm still a bit cautious of. I feel like there's going to be, and I've heard a lot of stuff with planes, but I feel like it's going to be more to come with that. Now I feel like there's going to be destruction again. This is to do, I feel like this is maybe to do with the China thing that I'm picking up. I just feel like there's going to be big destruction coming around. I kind of feel like Biden is coming up to the end of his reign. I don't feel like he's going to make it to the next election. And I keep on seeing, when you see someone on the stage and they're trying to get them off, he's in that hook. I keep on seeing that with him. At the moment, he's dodging, but I feel like it's going to come to a point where he's going to be replaced, or he's going to be taken off the stage. And I kind of feel like that the second lady who's second in charge, is it Kamala Harris, I think it is, that she thinks that she's going to be able to step it up to go next in line, but I feel like she's going to be stopped. So I feel like that her hands are going to be tied. I still feel like there's a younger male going to step in. That I just don't feel like Biden's going to make it. And there's going to be someone else taking over, because I feel like they're already trying to get him down, but he's dodging it but I feel like maybe by September, I just feel like there's something going on with that. I got here that so in Australia, I just feel like in Australian politics, so I felt we've just had elected a new politician, Albert Benesi. I don't feel like he's going to make it full term. I don't know whether or not he'll be out this year or not, but I don't think he's going to make it to his next election. And I do feel like he's going to go down. I mean, they only got in with 30% of the votes, so they didn't even have 0.5% of the votes. So they're already coming in as not being popular. And I don't feel like popularity is going to grow. I feel like it's going to get down even more. And I do feel like things for him, and I even with astrology, I've seen his chart is not going to be very good. He's got Jupiter over his sun, which got him into the election. But then, yeah, especially next year, things for him won't go well. But I still feel like Jason Sinclair could take over with that. I've got here, okay, there's going to be more stuff coming up, I feel like, with the guns situation in America. I feel like they're going to try and outlaw the guns. Now, I don't know a lot about your politics and about what I've heard. I don't feel like they may outlaw them, but there's something about 24. So I don't know whether or not, because 24 kept coming up with me. So I don't know whether or not I feel like they are going to tighten up the laws with that. Maybe not take them away, but tightening up the laws will happen. But they could be that you could be 24 to get the gun. There's something about 24. So there's something about that and tightening up the restrictions on that. But I feel like they are going to try and outlaw them. Now, I feel like there is going to be an attack, and I feel like I'm in the US. And yeah, I just get this big overwhelming feeling. I feel like there's this more war energy that we're going to see coming up, and this is just not with the Russia. I feel like I'm more drawn to China. We got here Kourtney Kardashian. I thought she was pregnant beforehand, because a picture came out a few months ago, and her stomach was standing out to me, and I actually thought and felt that she was pregnant then. But I feel like she's going to have 4 children. So I feel like there's one more baby for her to come. I do feel like we may hear about some sort of baby news coming up with her, because I just feel like it's coming up for me. I just feel like times where we are going to get worse. So we're already going into hard times like I've predicted, and I do feel like they're going to get a bit worse. And it's about preparing for any sort of situation that's coming up. I feel like I'm not trying to scare people, but that's just what I feel like. And so far what I've been predicting is most of it is sort of coming true. Then I've got here, I feel like they're trying to make the Great Reset happen, and they know what they're doing. The governments around the world, they're all in this together. And I feel like they're deliberately making things, even here, they're making inflation go up with the governments. They're making out they're doing some good. by handing out certain money to people, by doing certain things, but it's only pushing up inflation more, and that's going to happen more around the world because I feel like they are trying to make the Great Reset happen. And then I've got here, I feel like travel, as I said before, traveling is going to slow down. I know they're saying it's going to go up and they're really trying to do that, but I feel like it's going to slow down. But more domestic, like with cars, I feel like yes, but with plane, I'm a bit iffy about with the planes. We've got here, I feel like there's going to be more push. I thought more doctors are coming out to push to look into that thing that we all know about, that we know to talk about. I feel like there's going to be more push about looking at that, looking into it, uncovering what's actually going on with that. I thought there's going to be more of a push for that to happen more towards as we get in through the next half of the year. Okay, I feel like there's a big earthquake that's going to happen in the US or Chile. I was getting those two countries. I kind of seeing like the big earthquake or something big earth events coming up, like volcanoes, but I've got earthquake coming up as well. I feel like Britney Spears may have one more child to have as well. I know she lost one, but if she does, I feel like it's going to be a girl. I feel like there's possibility of one more of her coming up. That's what I was getting so far of what's to come over the next 6 months. I was trying to just get it for the next 6 months, and that's kind of what I've been getting at this halfway point from my one from the beginning of the year. So we'll look back at it when we get more at the end of the year to see what's coming on. As I said, I just feel like everyone needs to start preparing, and let's just do some cards for what's coming up the next half of the year. I do see. Have a look here. I see there's more protests coming up. So I do see more protests that are coming up, shortages coming up, work shortages. People are wanting more. I do feel like there's more investigations coming up to the whole COVID situation around the world. People are going to want to unmask that and get down to the details, because people are sort of not scared anymore and we're sick of it. I remember saying that we phased out by the end of the year. They are phasing it out because they're getting ready onto the new thing. That's what I feel like is kind of happening as well. Let's have a look here. I just feel like people want things new, and you're going to try and look within our own environments to try and make ourselves happy, then going out to seeking new things. There is something about business coming up here. I just feel like with business, things are going to look a bit more, I do feel like grim with business. By the end of the year, I feel like we're going to just want to celebrate the year over and getting into a new year, new beginning. But yeah, I just feel like there's going to be some wiring. I just feel like there's going to be some sort of destruction that happens with people, countries. Yeah, I just feel like there's a lot of things that are going to be going on, and people are going to be looking more to, I guess, going within and even looking like at spirituality, but taking notice of the signs around them and paying more attention to actually what's going on around them as well. Than just taking for granted what people are telling them to. And what I do see on mainstream, I feel like people are going to be more questioning things coming up because they're sick of the lies, they're sick of being told what to do, and they're sick of the manipulation at play. And they're looking at things more clearer, they're looking at things more open. They are trying to go into a world where it's their reality. But I do feel like we are going into like a depression. So I do feel like our grandparents, I feel like we're coming into our hard time now. And so I said before in one of my videos on TikTok that I felt like the whole this tough years that we've been in, I feel like we've got till 2024 for things starting to iron itself out, where things are going to start being a bit more easier. So I feel like we've still got a bit to go through coming up, but I did get some sort of celebration, but also I feel like we need to pay attention now. So we need to take off the rose-colored glasses. We need to look at things and how they are, and look at our things that are happening around us too. So that's my quick update for what's happening. If I get any more predictions, I will put them out as I go along. So I hope you all have a wonderful, having a good day at the moment and a good week, and I'll see you for my next video. If you want me to cover any more, I am going to do some more celebrity chart readings. I have got some plans I want to do. If you have a celebrity or something you want me to look at, prediction wise, please put in the comments below and I will do a video looking at that specifically. Okay, thank you. So I'll see you for my next video. Thank you for liking, sharing your comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.